What do you own a ridiculous amount of? Records. About 2,000 of them. Back in the 1980s all my friends gave me their records when they bought CDs. Many people would kill for a good vinyl collection these days. Editor, thanks for the award. Good vinyl loving PR Pliaf read it. Yes, Gil. What state and town are you in up with this 2000 record set? Just curious. Empty boxes from ordering stuff. I'm taking them to recycling as soon as I decide I'm not gonna use them. I was so bad with boxes. And with 3 people in one house we were getting out of boxes built up. I finally got rid of them all. Broke them down and recycled them. Then I had no boxes to wrap anything in for Christmas and had to buy boxes. The box cycle is a savage and heartless one. Lumpy Christmas presents are more fun. Salt and pepper shakers. I guess 7 pairs isn't ridiculous for some niche collector, but I'm not. But where the hell did they all come from? I have cows, sugar skulls, goats. I don't need to shake that much salt and pepper. My mom used to have a large collection. I'm talking shelves full of those fuckers. We'd occasionally swap the boring ones from the table with a fun set, but they were mostly just on display. When I retire I plan on starting this useless collection hobby. Books. I'm never moving again. Preach. On a lark I put a bid on the European history section of a library in a university that was shutting down. Somehow, I won. I got rid of 2/3 of them, since you only need, say, 2 books at most about the Crimean War. I still have hundreds and hundreds. Here's the rub though, I write history and I teach history. They've been a godsend when I'm up in the middle of the night. Can't figure out how to connect Fenianism into the American Civil War through a European perspective. And then I can start pulling books on the Second Empire. I realize not everyone has that problem. But having way too many books is about the only way to solve it. Edit, I write history. I'm not the living incarnation of history. Wow. Incredibly jealous. A full library section of European history is a dream. I wonder if these kinds of sales happen often, or if you just hit the lottery. Crafting supplies. I'm a serial crafter, in that I like to get really into a crafting hobby for a period of time. Could be months, years, or sometimes just weeks. And then I move on to the next craft. I usually buy supplies for that hobby, as though it will be a lifelong passion. I'm also an aspirational crafter. I'll see the potential in raw materials which forces me to buy said raw materials. But then I get lazy and the project never comes to fruition. In short, I have 2 separate hobbies, collecting crafting supplies and crafting. Same exact answer here. It doesn't help that I work at a craft store, so I see other people's crafts, get inspired, tell myself my discount makes it worth it, and my depression won't stop me from doing anything creative when I get home. Yet here I am with so many unfinished projects. I still have a little piece of the inspiration for them. I just have to get around to the motivation part. The struggle is real. My craft room's got more UFOs than Roswell. I hope you find your motivation. Completing something can sometimes have a cumulative effect, in that you might get inspired to complete more. Paper clips. I have a whole drawer full of them. Socks. 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 I got socks for my socks. Are you the sock monster in my drawer? Q-tips. My wife signed us for our Amazon Household Essentials subscription and overestimated how often we bought Q-tips. A box came every month. Until I pointed out that using our stock of 20,000 Q-tips would take a while. Edit. Thanks for the awards. I was not expecting this to blow up. Happened with toothpaste. I've got like 8 to 9 tubes currently. That has been suspended for the foreseeable future. I might need toothpaste in April of 2022. Wow. Finally an item that's worth the subscription though. Blood sugar. Sex magic. I have 5 copies of this CD, so it legitimately is something I own too much of. Cables. There is an unwritten law of the universe. If you throw away a cable, you will need it within a month. Similar to the law that you'll always see random objects just laying around until you actually need them. Then they are nowhere to be found. Oh, and if you purchase a replacement, guess what you can suddenly find? Polyhedral dice. Dice goblin is please. I have surpassed goblin and am approaching dice dragon. I will sit upon my hoard and yell at anyone who gets too close. Steam games. Same. 80% of which I've never played. I discovered that you can make a dynamic collection that holds only the games you never played. It's been much easier to take that number down to 79% with it. Nerf darts. P.S. I don't have any Nerf guns. When I started at my current job we used to have daily Nerf fights. Most people could throw them further and more accurately than any unmodified gun. You're hiring? Guitar picks. I have so many because I keep losing them. So I buy more. Then I clean my couch and find all the old ones. Except the ones that the pig demon sucks into the vortex along with all the missing socks. Get the third printer. I can make a new pick in less than 2 minutes. And I customize them to my grip and finger size. So much better than store-bought. Moomin tea mugs. I have close to 60. All different. My mother gifted me them 4 years in my advent calendar and she got a bit carried away. I want some mugs so bad. In Norway they used to give you one for each time you donated blood. For some reason. I don't think they do that anymore. They still do. Stuffed animals. Childhood me had a problem. Childhood me loved stuffed animals so much. Then I became an adult and realized how much better actual animals are. Grew up and started working my real job, which enabled me to buy said animals, add in my shitty impulse control. And now I have too many animals. Stuffed animals would be way easier. Coffee beans. I won a lifetime supply of gourmet coffee beans in a contest. Several pounds arrive each month. Faster than I can use them. Some get stored in the freezer, while other bags are given to friends who can use them. Stringed instruments. 10 guitars. 2 basses. 2 banjos. A mandolin and a few oddballs. The real question is, if you own mayonnaise. He said string instruments. I'd say mayo is more of a percussive instrument. Edit, guys. This is not an innuendo. I'm taking a stupid SpongeBob joke and overthinking it way too much. If someone wants to discuss the mechanics is using a splash sound from mayo as an instrument, let's talk. Stop with the sex jokes. Nuts and bolts. Every time I get a new thing that needs assembled, I keep the leftovers just in case. Now I have a ton of random particular nuts and bolts with severely limited applications and I just can't seem to throw them away. But when you just need one goddamn bolt plus NUT to hold together something that broke, that box of nuts and bolts is worth its weight in gold. Saved many trips to the Home Depot because of that lovable bastard box. Plastic bags from the grocery store. I use them for trash bags in the bathroom. I do this too. I save the Walmart bags because they are grey and match the bathroom decor better than the white or brown bags. I call them fashion bags. Apostrophe. Dead. Damn. Not to worry. Those Reddit awards are making striking progress. Lego. Me too. I'm completely out of space. Desperately need to buy some more shelves. Build some Lego shelves. Problem solved. Toilet paper. We moved during the pandemic and everyone thought they'd be clever and send us a pack as a housewarming gift. The first couple were helpful and appreciated. The many others that followed were not. We haven't bought toilet paper since May and we still have 70 plus rolls left. We couldn't finish unpacking a few boxes because an entire closet is filled with toilet paper. At least they don't go bad. You'll eventually use them all. I would TP my own house just because I can. Dresses. I have over 100 dresses. All were purchased from thrift shops and all are donated back again after I wear them a few times, but still. It's a strange obsession. Amateur, my wife. Oh you bet. Mine's got dresses for her dresses. Masks. There was a sale. Chapstick and lip gloss. No matter where I am, there's always at least 10 somewhere around me. I have one in every single coat and bag I could possibly wear out of the house and in various drawers around the house. So no matter where I am, I have one. Unless my husband uses one, and then they all start migrating to the change bowl by the front door. Pocket knives. My grandfather used to sell them at flea markets for a side hustle, and he used to give them to the grandkids as gifts. I've gone on to buy a few interesting ones for myself. I have about 70 Mad magazines, I started collecting them in the 80s. I have just about every issue published between 1970 and 1990, plus a bunch more on either side. Atari games. I already had a bunch when I was a kid. Then my older cousin gave me all his when he got into high school and stopped playing. I have about 80, no duplicates. Plus, I still have a working console. Old video games. I have a massive setup of DOS and Windows games from the early 80s through the mid 90s. I can play through rSlashBox and a front end. Something like 600 or so at the last count. I have another setup of emulated arcade games from the same era using MAME. Again, several hundred that are actually playable. I have other collections as well, just not a ridiculous amount in each. Do you have E.T. and Friday the 13th on Atari? Those were my favorites along with Frogger. E.T. Yes, I got it when it came out and was as frustrated as everyone else. Friday the 13th. I didn't know there was a game. I'll have to look for that. Fragrances, about 90. I own 1,000 rubber duckies. I used to work in software engineering and wanted to prank the company, so I bought 1,000 of the buggers. Never got around to it. Sadly. Edit. Rip my inbox. Thanks for the awards. But please don't waste your money on me. There are plenty of good comments and posts that are more worthy than this billock. Edit 2. Honestly, fellows, there are charities that need the money more than I need the awards. If you want to make me feel good, send a charity of your choice money, either in your name or anonymously. Are you related to James Veach by chance? Oh god. Flashbacks to that stand-up comedy. Used to own a lot of bouncy balls. I collected them as a kid. Anytime I saw a dispenser at a store of arcade I would get a ball. My favorite was one shaped like a UFO or Saturn, and there was a really pretty green one. I loved to shake the box that the collection was in because it sounded like thunder. I think I still have a fraction of the collection, but don't remember where I put it. Discs, frisbees. I'm somewhere around 250 now. You weren't doing it right. At least 90% of them should be in a water hazard. Back hair. Gross. Hoss is it? Mine. They stole it from me yesterday. Spaghetti. I go out for food. Buy spaghetti on sale despite having loads at home. Only use like half the pack for a meal. Why do I do this? Regrets. Felt that. Same. Tabletop role playing game books. I know someday I will find the perfect system for me. And I have to back that Kickstarter. And that book looks nice too. Edit. Gosh. My first award. Thanks a lot. I'm honored. This feels like a level up. Close bracket. Kickstarter is the worst thing for gamers trying to stop their spending habits. Rice. I must own millions, possibly billions of grains of rice. It's really great for when you're hungry and want 2,000 of something. Oh, how I miss Mitch Hedberg, one of the greatest. Fancy men's boxes. Used to work for Saks and always took home any samples or extra stock that was available. The rest of the staff stopped taking them when they had enough, but I kept loading up knowing I wouldn't work there forever. 5 years later I have a suitcase in my closet with about $2,000 worth of underwear I'm planning on making last for the rest of my life, or if I ever reach the point that I can afford to pay $30 for a pair of boxers. Close bracket. Saks are awesome, but they are pricey. Worth it. Just bought a few pairs and my undercarriage couldn't be happier. Pennies. They're useless here, Canada, so I have nearly $1,000 in pennies. I collected them from banks when we stopped using them, hoping to make a penny floor with them once I find a house that I can see myself making into my forever home. Not useless. Still legal tender. Pen/markers. I'm really artistic, so it makes sense. I also have a crap ton of books, but that's besides the point. Edit. Thank you kind stranger for the award. Not artistic but agreed on the pens. I currently have around 30 pens and 10 finalinas. Back in my college dorm room I have somewhere close to 40 pens still sitting in the pen stand on my desk. Rocks. I have them in my purse, in my car, in my cabinets, stashed in every room of my house. I like rocks. I bring rocks home almost every trip into the woods. Live in an area with a lot of ancient volcanic activity, so lots of interesting things to pick up and bring home. One day they will be parts of my landscaping at home. My mom is a big rock hound. When I was a biologist at a cool location, I worked one day quite a long ways from a basaltic volcano that blew up at one time. I was out in the middle of the desert and found the absolute neatest volcanic bomb. It weighed around 50 pounds and was all twisted. Desert paint on one side, etc. I took it and hiked it 15 miles out. I drug it with me after that job for 6 months as I backpacked CA and lived out of my car. Then I took it back to my parents. My mom was like, "Oh, that's nice," and used it as a doorstop. I'm still grumpy 15 years later, and I stole it back. Squishmallows. Technically they are my daughters, but I bought almost all of them. She has probably 30. We could get rid of her bed and she could sleep on them. She loves all of them, and I would quit buying them, but they are so damn cute. Clamps. You can never have too many clamps. Video games that I've never finished. Warhammer 40k armies. My wife hates that I started a hobby with lots of small pieces a few months before having our first child. Underwear that no longer fits. Too big. The underwear. My bras. Miraculously still work. Husband is thrilled. Fatigue. Children. I know I have a shopping problem. The return policy on children is freaking atrocious. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.